What's up, y'all? So today we got a tier list. It's which Olympic sport is the best base for MMA. So of all the Olympians, if you were to give them each 1 year to train MMA, how well would they do in the UFC? S tier would mean that they could become a champion. A tier mean they become top 5. B, top 10. C, okay, and you can read. F tier is forget about it. They have no chance. Okay? But first, I have to say this. Any Olympian, the fact that they are an Olympian means that they have a world-class skill set, world-class discipline, grit, self-belief, some type of coordination and motor skills that exceeds the average human being to the point that they can go and represent their nation on the world stage. Right? The fact that they even have that mental fortitude got them to where they are today. And so any one of these sports athletes could probably become an MMA champion if they put their mind to it. But this isn't an inspirational video, okay? This is a little crappy tier list on YouTube. So that being said, ping pong, forget about it. Ping pong, forget about it. Listen, the amount of strength, the amount of agility, maybe the hand-eye coordination is good, but there's nothing, I don't see there's any redeeming qualities in ping pong, any skills specific to a ping pong player or a table tennis player that would help you dome rock somebody. So I'm sorry, or even defend a takedown. No, you're not defending takedowns. You're jumping around, you're hitting a plastic ball. I'm sorry. Hey, man, this is my YouTube channel, man. This is what we do here. Let's go to another sport. Let's go to tennis. Now, tennis, I'd say a tennis player could be a D tier. I think they could make it to unranked. And the only reason I put them above ping pong is because they got that swing. So they have the mechanics down to be able to land some good punches. If you taught them how to throw a punch, throw a kick, pivot, they got all the footwork down there. They're going to be a little more agile than a table tennis player. Now, I know the table tennis player. I don't even know how many table tennis aficionados I got watching. That's a funny. I'm a table tennis aficionado. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like a tennis player, they have a little more strength, a little more speed and explosiveness, and they would be able to be a good UFC fighter. Now, weightlifting. Now, if you've ever been in the gym with a strongman, if you've ever had to wrestle a strongman, do roll, grapple with a strongman, it is the worst round of your life, especially if you're a smaller guy. Me, I'm not a smaller guy. I'm about 200, 210. So I always get grouped with the bigger guys, and it's always a nightmare. These guys, they got the strength. If they just want to, they just can stand up. If they want to, they can just bench press you off. If they want to, they can just overhead press you for 15 reps. So it's not fun. Someone with Olympic level strength, yeah, they could definitely, if you taught them some fundamentals, they'd probably be in heavyweight too. You teach them some fundamentals, how to block a takedown, how to, do your fundamental punches, block some kicks. Dude, I think Olympic powerlifter could make it in the top 10. That being said, swimming, forget about it. What are you going to do? Breaststroke your way out of a rear naked choke? Dude, you're cooked, man. Stay in the water. I think also these guys, that because they're in the water all day, I feel like their bones would be brittle.
He needs some
they'd have the
milk.
Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva effect if they tried to really like throw some hard kicks. I just feel like it's swimming. They're going to have good cardio, but we're on land, buddy. Like maybe if you're fighting dolphins, but nah. And you know what? That goes for these guys too, the surfers.
Huh?
You didn't think I was going to put surfing in there, man. This is current. This is 2024, baby. Surfers, I don't know what skills that they have in surfing other than balance, maybe in a wrestling scramble you do well, but yeah, I'm sorry, man. Dude, we're not fighting in the water. So maybe if we were fighting in the water, matter of fact, let me put water polo in there. I'll put water polo. I don't even know if this is water polo. This is probably synchronized swimming, but we're going to pretend it's water polo. I feel like a water polo fighter, that even sounds epic. That sounds like an anime somewhere. Fire Force, after Fire Force, water polo. Okay, chill. Yeah, I feel like a water polo guy would be good because they're physical. They're like fighting and swimming. So they have the cardio, But then they have the physicality and they have some techniques, probably some little underwater, under the table grappling that they can throw at you. Now let's get into some A and S tier. What do you think? I'm going to throw judo. A tier? Are you kidding me? I'm going to throw judo in S tier. We already have judo champions. We got Ronda Rousey. And yeah, I know all of y'all, when I said Ronda Rousey, you said, Ronda Rousey, she's a woman. Okay, but she was a champion, okay? And she could probably beat you. She'd probably get you a Uchimata or whatever that is. But I mean, aside from that, some of the techniques like Khabib and Islam and Zabit, they've hit some judo throws that have just been
nice.
Definitely gonna put that in the S tier. Another S tier, Taekwondo. I'm gonna group Taekwondo and karate in the same because you just have the rest of these sports, they don't offer any hand-to-hand combat. And Taekwondo karate is literally hand-to-hand combat, throwing strikes, evading strikes, footwork, defensive skills. So, and we already have some really elite Wonder Boy, Yair Rodriguez, Lyoto Machida. So they have the potential to become champions. What do y'all think about shot put? What do y'all think? You think a shot putter can make it in the top 15? What does a shot putter have? I'll put him in the top 15. You think a shot putter would do better than a tennis player? I think they have the explosiveness. They have no cardio, virtually zero cardio, a shot putter. But they're going to have explosiveness and they're probably going to know, foot placement. So I'm going to put them in top 15. Not as high as a weightlifter. I feel like weightlifters would just, yeah. Now, skateboarding, go ahead, grind your way out of here. Go ahead, grind your way on. Go ahead, jump off the handrail away from the octagon because you stand no chance. The only thing actually, skateboarders are tough, man. Skateboarders fall on concrete every single day. I'm going to give the skateboarders, they don't have the brittle bones. They're like the opposite of these swimmers. They have probably some of the strongest bones in this whole category. These swimmers, you huff and puff and you're going to break their femur. So you're going to, but skateboarders, dude, underrated. Now, soccer players. Where y'all think soccer players? Dude, I don't know if we have any soccer players in the UFC. I feel like a soccer player would be top 10. They got the explosiveness, plus the endurance, plus the leg strength, the kicking power. Dude, imagine taking a leg kick from Zlatan. Imagine taking a leg kick from a Brazilian Olympic soccer player, some 19-year-old kid from the favela. Imagine him kicking your leg. Dude, no thank you. No thank you. What else we got? Just a random picture I got of some people diving. Okay, once again, y'all are going to dive to the bottom of the rankings. There's literally nothing that you can bring from diving into an octagon that will help you in a fight. Dude, if I was making my UFC debut and they said, we put you against an Olympian, I'd be like, oh crap, maybe I should pull out. And if they were to say he was an Olympic diver, I'd say, oh.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
Okay, now I'm going to do the track. I'm going to do sprinting, and then I'm going to do long distance. Now, sprinting, once again, explosive power. They're going to have a little more strength. They're going to have a little more size to them, but they're not going to have the cardio. So they're probably going to be like a Conor McGregor, I'll put them up ahead. A Conor McGregor in the first round, they're going to probably come at you in the first round, throw a bunch of haymakers. I don't know if they'll be able to pick up the techniques like, the footwork and the hand placement, head movement. Maybe they would be good at learning a martial art in the span of a year. But in my mind, sprinters just run in a line. So there's not much coordination. I know some sprinters are going to come in here who run in lines and they're going to say, we don't just run in lines. And I'm going to say, cool, what do you do other than run in lines? And they're going to explain to me how running in a line isn't just running in a line. But I feel like all y'all do is just run in lines. So, and I was a sprinter in high school. I was a sprinter in high school, but I was also a wrestler in high school. Oh, speaking of wrestling, S tier, baby. S tier, baby. Boy, this is a certified hood. Yeah, we already know. Dude, honestly, I want you to, there's nothing like wrestling. I want you to actually watch wrestling this Olympics. It's going to be boring as crap, but I want you to watch the physicality. I got to admit, it is kind of boring as crap. You got to fast forward it and watch the takedowns and the throws. But when they do throw, it is insane. And it's the only thing that can compete with MMA in terms of intensity, in terms of the grit and the toughness. Like even judo, like they throw them once and the fight's over. But wrestling, it's like a grind. It's literally a grind. Wrestling by far. I mean, we got John Jones, the GOAT, wrestler. DC, Hall of Famer, wrestler. Randy Couture, Hall of Famer, wrestler. Kamaru Usman, Hall of Famer, wrestler. Volkanovski, y'all know Volkanovski was a wrestler? I mean, we could go down the list forever. But yeah, a wrestler, if you give a wrestler a year, they could become a champion. For sure. For sure. Oh, I forgot. I was talking about sprinting. I was supposed to talk about long distance. So we got long distance. I'm going to put long distance way down here. Long distance, you don't have explosive power. It's literally you're just jogging for like an hour or two. I hate to break it to y'all, man. I've ran a marathon before. I've ran several half marathons before. I hate to break it to you guys. You're just jogging. Just jogging. And I don't know if just jogging can win you a fight. Maybe they'll have the mental fortitude of, hey, I can stick with this and I'm not going to give up. But would I put them over table tennis? Yeah, nah. I'll put them above swimming because at least they walk on the land, like a mammalian creature. They're not an amphibian or whatever. All right, fencing. Another one. I'll give these guys unranked. They got the foot placement. They have the mind of a combat athlete. I'll put them ahead of water polo. Why do I have this order like this? Yeah, I'm gonna put water polo. Yeah, I have fencing. I'll put fencing ahead of tennis, honestly. Man, tennis is fun. Any of y'all want to go play tennis after this? Just let me know. We can go play tennis after this. But yeah, I think fencing, they're going to have the mind of a combat athlete. They're going to have the footwork. They're going to have the explosiveness. They're going to have the mind of like, hey, how do I set traps for my opponent? And then they're going to have that kill instinct. Honestly, no, I'll put a fencer up here above a shot put. What is a shot putter doing up here? First of all, put this shot putter down here. What was I thinking? I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, dude. Okay, I got a good one. Because look at A tier is missing. I'll tell y'all exactly what's going in A tier. Rugby. And there's nothing I can compare to, but there's NFL players, not NFL players, but there's like football players who have made it pretty far in the UFC. You got Greg Hardy, you got Dominic Cruz. Is it Dominic Cruz? Dominic Reyes. Football players. Rugby is very similar, a little more physical, some could argue. But you're going to have everything. You're going to have the strength. You're going to have the endurance. You're going to have the explosiveness. They have the takedowns. Y'all not thinking about that. They got the takedowns. And then they have the takedown defense just built in. Okay. And then they have the kicking too. Their feet are going to be conditioned. Their shins are going to be conditioned. They got dense bodies, dense frames. Yeah, I feel like rugby. You put a rugby player in there. Oh, what am I talking about? Alexander Volkanovski. They could be S tier, baby. I forgot Alexander Volkanovski. Tied to Ivasa. Even though but he was top 5. Dude, rugby, completely underrated. Honestly, you put a rugby player, I think a Taekwondo. You think a Taekwondo nerd could beat a rugby player in a fight? Pound for pound, you think a Taekwondo fighter and a rugby guy who he in between practice, he's like pissing behind the stands, drinking a gallon of milk for lunch. You think a rugby player could beat a Taekwondo nerd in a fight? I feel like they could. If they both trained for like a year, I feel like a rugby player would beat the absolute mess out of a Taekwondo nerd. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for calling them nerds. Please don't kick me in the comments. All right, here we go. Here's some other nerds. Volleyball. Now, oh man. There's nothing like And all my wrestlers, because, this is a wrestling channel first and foremost. There's nothing like hitting a blast double on a tall, lanky guy. Dude, there's nothing feels better in this life than picking up a tall, lanky guy and slamming him down. Didn't DC do that to like Gustafson? You've seen DC do it all the time. He's shorter than it. He just sweep up those long legs like a daddy long leg. Just sweep them up, throw them, slam them down. Dude, unless they just, I don't see a volleyball player doing very well in the UFC. I really don't. And then volleyball is like, they're going to be like, where are my teammates? Like, it's, I just feel like they're too soft. Let me give you a solid A tier. Let me give you just one of the most solid A tiers ever. Gymnastics. I'm gonna put 2 gymnastics in A tier. Because these guys, I wish there was a gymnast who was in the UFC. I can't think of one. I feel like there might be one who was a gymnast and now they're in the UFC. Imagine, have you seen these guys? They'll be swinging around a bar like a weed whacker. And I'm just thinking, how much grip strength do you need? How much like arm strength do you need? I imagine if Simone Biles shook my hand, I'd be like, ow. Because their grip strength has got to be out of this world. Their core strength is out of this world. Their balance is out of this world. If you were to teach them, some wrestling fundamentals, if you were to teach them how to throw a punch, I feel like in a scrap, if you get a tough gymnast, and I feel like they're all tough, man, I feel like they'd be top 5. I would love to see a gymnast in the top 5. Dude, what am I doing with fencing right here and soccer? Let me put it like that. Sprinters, I got the sprinter. Let me add some more to the C tier. We need some more in the C tier. I'll put a triathlete in the C tier. Top 15. Top 15, that sounds about right? A Nate Diaz, he does triathlons. I'm gonna give them that. They got the biking, they got the swimming, they got the running. It's just like a long, long marathon. But I think the biking is gonna give them a little more strength than your typical marathon runner. I really did marathon runners dirty. Biking, they're gonna be a little stronger. But then again, they're just swimming in a line, biking in a line, running in a line. There's no coordination, there's no balance, there's no tactics, no fight instinct. I'll put these these dudes built weird. Have you ever seen one of these I don't even know what this is called, like power cycling? They're kind of built kind of weird. But they got them big old thighs. I'm going to put them ahead of a triathlete because they're just kind of strong. And I feel like their thighs are just so big, they don't know what to do with them when they're not on a bike. Like, they're probably like, these power cyclers are probably like, oh man, I was lost before I found cycling. And now, I'm still lost unless I'm literally on a bike on an indoor circuit, riding around in circles. They're basically living out the plot of Cars. Oh, I'm just lost if I'm not on the track. I don't want to roast them too bad. I don't know any in real life. What would they do? Sit on me with the big thighs? Anyways, I'm going to put gymnastics in the A tier again. Don't get mad at me. This is my video. Okay? Rowing. A rower. Okay. Unless they hit you with the get over here, like the scorpion, get over here, and they just grab you and hold you. I think they'd be pretty good. I think they'd be better than a sprinter. They'd definitely be better than would they? Because they just sit. Like, if your sport is you're sitting in your sport. Nah, dude. I think they're equal to, if you were to combine the lower body of a cycler and the upper body of a rower, what do you get? You get a weightlifter. So you get a gymnast. So yeah, I'm gonna put rowing right there. They might have the good grip strength and they might have good endurance, and if you were to teach them, some submissions, I could see them locking up. Once they lock up a choke, it's over with because they got the lats. They got lats so big they could fly out of the octagon. All right. Y'all ready for another F tier? This girl just went viral today. The shooter, dude, F tier, dude. F tier. If it was street fighting, she'd be S tier. But this is there's literally no redeemable skills for shooting in MMA. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And you know what? Speaking of shooting, I'm going to take basketball. What did I say? I said the same thing about volleyball, okay? A tall, lanky, except these guys are taller. Guys, you think I'm playing, bro? I want you to imagine Victor Wembanyama fighting against Tom Aspinall. Imagine Joel Embiid fighting Francis Ngannou, okay? Oh, my African brother, you are going to go easy on me, yes? You go easy on me, the African brother. Hey, dude, you cooked, man. Oh, you're in so much trouble. Dude, yeah, basketball, I feel like they have good, they have probably maybe better side to side than a volleyball player. I'll give them that. But bigger target, you're long. Maybe, you know what? Let me give them a break, because with the length, if they were to learn how to strike, they'd be pretty dangerous. You think a basketball player, you think LeBron James could beat a Russian water polo champion in a fight? Okay, we've been doing this for long enough. We got one more sport, and we're going to put it in the A tier. Right underneath wrestling. Can you guess what it is? It's boxing. Come on, how did I forget boxing? Boxing is, as a base, just as dangerous as wrestling these days. I was just watching some Jack Della Maddalena highlights, just mwah. Pause. I was watching some Ilia Topuria highlights, just, oh. Conor McGregor highlights, oh. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Holly Holm. Ooh. Heck yeah. S tier. But yeah, this is my tier list. Let me know what y'all think if you disagree with any of my picks. Thanks for watching. This is Flying Squirrel. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to like and subscribe. I'm out.